Welcome back to the channel. We've been going over the 5 keys of effective anchoring. And so in this portion, we're going over uniqueness of anchor. Now, this is important. You have to set a unique stimulus to, or pair with, that unique stimulus with the state. This is so important because by creating a unique stimulus, what you're doing is you're training the mind to associate more effectively that stimulus with the emotion that you're pairing. If the stimulus is not unique, the brain can't mark it out as something that's different and meaningful to that state. So for example, let's say as many people in the personal power the NLP world like to do, they like to set anchors on their fingertips, right? So you'll read this in a lot of NLP books. A lot of my favorite NLP teachers will recommend this. But there is something problematic about anchoring here. And that's that this is really easily accessible to you. Many people fidget. Many people play with their fingers. So this is not really a unique anchor for some people, right? If you never do this or you never do that, then it's unique. But if you're like most people and you're just kind of sitting there playing with your fingers, what will happen is you'll actually dilute the power or the effectiveness of that anchor. You want your anchor to be unique so that only this means to go into the state. You do something specific and unique. And when you do that, your unconscious mind, your nervous system rather, will pair it with the emotional state that you are eliciting. Now, sometimes, we're talking about self-anchors here. We can talk about the context of anchoring and communication is a different topic that's worth in-depth study. But let's say we're just focusing in on self-anchoring. So for me, a more unique anchor is, instead of the fingertips, something that's a little bit harder for me to do. So if I put an anchor here, for example, if I fire that off, I have to be very deliberate about it. It's not something that's going to be happening by accident, and so it's a unique thing for me to do to put an anchor there. So that would be a good anchor for me. Now, another thing that you can do is recognize that every state that you have has a unique and corresponding physiology to it. So if you can go into the state enough, memorize what are the slight things that you do with your physiology when you're in the state. Maybe you talk to yourself a certain way. Maybe there's a certain thing that you do with your body. If you can recognize that, you'll actually identify your own set of unique self-anchors and be able to fire off that state automatically. So, uniqueness of anchor. Making sure that with the stimulus that you pair with the emotional state is unique. Think about an ambulance, right? That siren is unique. Nobody hears that and thinks regular car horn. That sound means emergency. And so you need to develop a unique way to associate and call back that state. In the next video, we're going to go over replicability and the importance of having an easily replicable anchor. See you there.